Try this again. It seems that my internet connection was bad and stopped the other broadcast short. Um, so anyway, as I was saying, um, I was raised in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and growing up, I spent a lot of time out behind my house and in nature, absorbing the powerful medicine that nature transmits. And as a kid, I went through a lot of tough times, and I found that nature was a place of peace and healing for me, and I drew a lot of inspiration from it, and it's really helped to shape and form the man that I am today. But when I was about 17, I moved down to, I didn't move down there. I went down to Anniston, Alabama to devote some time to helping people that really didn't have much money to help them build homes. I worked with Habitat for Humanity for a little bit, and it was there in Anniston, Alabama, that I experienced something very profound. It really opened me up in a way that I'd never experienced before, and so that was when I was 17. That's when I had the most powerful spiritual experience. It's a funny story. I went to this church on Easter Sunday. It was an African American church, and we were sitting in the front row, and I'd never really actually been to church in this way and experienced this kind of worship or anything like that. And so anyway, the preacher starts going into some sort of weird trance and channeling the Holy Spirit, and I started noticing that people around me were crying, and people were just jumping up and down, and just it was really, really just a neat experience. But it wasn't until about 2 hours later, we were all sitting in a park in a circle, and we were asked to talk about the experience that we had while on this trip. And when it came around to me, that's when I got hit with the Spirit. That was the first time I ever experienced this. And I just started weeping and crying. I broke down. I couldn't stop because the love that I felt, it was so profound. It was unconditional. I know there's words for like agape or stuff like that, but when I experienced this love, it changed me, and I saw in that moment that we were all connected by one spirit, one essence. Not just us human beings, but also trees, plants, animals. We're all connected by one spirit. And I've realized in that moment too that we were here for one purpose, and that is love. And the thing is that even though I had that expansive spiritual experience, within the next day or two, I came back down to my regular self and my small ego self. And what happened was all that light that came in when the Spirit hit me, it pushed up all the unreconciled wounds and trauma of my past, and it was a lot to try to reconcile. I had no idea what I was doing, and so I kind of went down a path where I feel like most of our youth go down. I fumbled around in the dark, seeking medicine with what was available around me. Drinking and drugs and partying all the time, and that whole journey. And I did that from the age of 17 on to about 23 years old. and so that's when I moved to Boulder, Colorado, and that's where I had my second really profound spiritual experience. And it's about 3 a.m. I was walking down the street from a party, heading back to my apartment, and that feeling hit me again as I was staring up at the night sky and looking out over the mountains, the Flatirons. I just fell to my knees, and I couldn't stop crying, because I knew the life that I was living wasn't the life I was supposed to be living. And my soul couldn't take it. I couldn't, and I cried out into the universe, and I said, whatever you are, whoever you are, I don't know, but I need help, because I'm not going to be alive much longer if I continue to do this. And the next day, I turned on the TV and I saw this special program about the Tao Te Ching. And I had no idea about spiritual knowledge or anything like this. This was not a concept to me. All I had was that profound experience at 17, and now at 24, I get this Tao Te Ching. It's an ancient manuscript of knowledge from China. And so this guy was, there was a guy on the TV talking about the Tao Te Ching and the wisdom and all that stuff that it brings, and it really hit me hard. It's like something inside of me just knew exactly what he was talking about. Even though the Tao Te Ching is this very mysterious text, it speaks in like verse and speaks in poetry. It really hit me hard, and that started to work on me, and I started to realize that I wasn't some weird guy. The way that I perceived the world around me, and the way that I connected to it so intimately and deeply, and felt things on such a deep level, I wasn't strange. This is a normal thing, and in fact, I was indeed a pretty normal guy for being like that. I always used to isolate myself, and I always used to kind of judge myself, because I would perceive things that most people couldn't, and it made me feel uncomfortable or awkward. I was highly intuitive, sensitive in my heart, emotionally intelligent. Some of these things, that are hard to, or can be difficult to navigate in this world that can be rather cruel. So anyway, a bit of self-acceptance occurred in that moment. So that was a deep healing for me. So anyway, I moved from Boulder, Colorado, out to Minnesota, and that's where I started the deeper healing process. Started to run into other people that were healers, and I started to see them on a regular basis. I studied Qigong and studied Reiki, and I really started to delve into the healing arts and the indigenous spirituality too. I was always drawn to, I think, because my great-grandmother was Native American, and I know that her spirit would guide me. She'd show up in my dreams from time to time just to kind of give me some wisdom, show me a lot about birds and stuff. But I started to attend sweat lodge ceremony on a frequent basis, probably once or twice a month, and did that for many years, actually. And that really changed me. And but I was seeking, ongoing, and I was consistent, and at that, I never stopped. As soon as I got that taste of authentic spirituality and that power of the spirit, I couldn't turn back. This is all I had, And so I started to give up all my old lifestyles. The drugs, the drinking, all that stuff just faded away as if it never happened. But I still had to heal and reconcile all the stuff that I had done, And that's, I think, what a lot of people don't realize on the spiritual journey. That there's a lot of work that goes into it. What you put into it, you get out of it. And it's not just like a weekend workshop. You get poof enlightenment. It's an ongoing process, and we have to shed the layers of our lives' experience and all the trauma, the pain, the suffering we've been through. Just so this is authentic spirituality. There's no, for me as a teacher, as a healer and a coach, I can't give you some special magical concoction that's gonna just make you perfect, because based on my own experience, it just doesn't exist. And so it's we all have to just work on ourselves and help each other through it, and guide each other through it. And I'm so grateful because I had a tremendous amount of support on my path. One from mostly my anchor. Her name's Dr. Patrice, or Alethea Sophia. She really has been my rock, and she's my twin flame, and I'm just so grateful that she came along in my life. But anyway, I guess what I can say about this work is that there's so much, even though it's so simple that we really just have to dispel or release and clear all this crud. It also is complex because there's so much to the human psyche, or the human consciousness. All these fragments that we have. It's part of our cultural identity and social construct. But those are the very things that we have to begin breaking down, because they keep us bound to a way of being that isn't really uplifting or inspiring. As you can see, look around in the world around you. And but we have to come back to nature too. Nature, Mother Nature, the feminine, she's waiting for us. Waiting to greet us in our hearts. And it is through, I think, nature that we can experience a profound love, and coming and assist us in coming back also to our own true nature. Because nature is going to reflect back to us our deepest essence, our deepest truth. She's not convoluted. So, yeah, I guess I'll bounce back to having gone through the deeper transformation of healing. I've been, since the age of 24 to the age of, I'm now 32, going on 33. So all those years, I've just devoted my life to this deeper healing work, and the deconstruction of the faults, the ignorance, the illusion, and in doing so, birthing my true self, or my authentic self. And I have to say that even though I've put all my energy and attention and willpower into this, it's really the grace of the divine that has allowed me to even progress in a way. Because there's so many times I've fallen down, I could have lost myself again, but there was a presence, a spirit that wouldn't allow it. Like you have to do this. You have to deliver the medicine. You have to give the wisdom and just be the channel that you're born to be. And I want to also state that we all have unique gifts, abilities, and we all need to support each other in delivering those unique gifts and abilities and talents. We're all natural born healers, but it's when you're around people that have been on the path a long time, it can really help to catapult you into new heights and to bring some deeper healing and reconciliation to your soul and your spirit. But anyway, so a lot of stuff I got through earlier on in my journey was the processing the grief and the sadness that I carried in my heart. That was hard, and I had a lot of guilt and shame, and it's all part of the human experience. It's just that what happens is in our society, in our cultural construct, we don't have a way of deeply processing our grief. And so what happens is it gets stuck in us, and it creates a blockage in our heart. And to me, the heart is the center of our being. It is the seat of the soul. That is where we function out of. If that is blocked, then we'll never experience authentic anything. It's going to be filtered through, limited mental faculties or something. So, a lot of stuff that came up for me early on, was self-esteem issues. I think we all have, suffer from low self-esteem and self-worth, or most of us do, because it's the way our society has constructed reality. We're always told, you have to do better. You have to be your best. And then what that translates as is you're not good enough. And so that voice in our head of we're not good enough, I'm not good enough, that gets embedded. And so I had to break through that one. And in doing so, I've also helped I've also been able to help others do that same kind of work, to break through those negative thought patterns and habits and beliefs that we've absorbed from the world around us, and probably from our parents too, or other people close to us. I have a friend. When she was in high school, she was in choir, and one of the choir instructor told her that she was a terrible singer, and that her voice was no good, and that she would never sing in her life. And the truth is, she has a beautiful voice, but whatever was going on with that woman, the choir instructor, she was just projecting her crud, or her low self-esteem onto her. And so anyway, for years, this woman went on believing that she couldn't sing, because that's what she was told. And she just never tried. And so it took a tremendous amount of work to break that free from that embedded belief. So I think that another key thing that's super important on this healing journey is you have to be self-reflective. And I coined this term, self-reflection is the key that opens the door to self-awareness. And that for me has been really an important piece. We have to be self-reflective, and I've had to reflect on my own habits, patterns, behaviors over the years, but as you do so, as you shine the light of your awareness onto these patterns, these habits, these beliefs, they start to dissolve, they break down, and you become clearer and clearer in your perception, and you gain more clarity, of what's going on around you. And so there's less of our own projections onto the world around us, and then that whole game of projecting our stuff on other people and then blaming them for all our problems. It's that I used to do that when I was a lot younger. But we come to a place where we own and take responsibility for ourselves and for our actions, our thoughts, and how we affect the world around us, and that's another integral piece to the spiritual path. Claiming ownership. It means being authentic, being real, and I think that spirituality in the Western world has been a bit convoluted. in a sense, as we have an image of what it needs to look like and what it should look like. Guys walking around in robes. I know holy men that wear jeans and white t-shirts. And they can do profound things, but what really is key is integrity. Look for that in a teacher: integrity, authenticity. If you look to the holy people that, quote, holy people that come here, the teachers that come here from from out of the United States, they're a bit exotic, but yet for some reason we're attracted to the exotic look, and that's not what it's about. Gotta look within yourself too. Truth is there, but be mindful of those types of things out there. They're a bit tricky. But anyway, as I was saying, I've been through a lot of deep deconstruction. Pulling out the embedded energies and from my energetic system, in order to be free of these limiting things. But sometimes, I'll tell you, not sometimes, most of the times, it's really helpful to have someone to be able to reflect back to you things that you can't see normally about yourself. We call it shadow work. It's just super important that you have someone you can trust, someone that loves you, who can get out of their own way and just be that mirror for you, so that you can see these aspects of yourself that may block you. They can block your abundance, your success in life, and all these things that, and they can even keep you from expressing your truth or delivering your gifts. So it's really important that you have somebody that, from my experience, that's where Dr. Patrice comes in, Aletheia Sophia. She has been that mirror for me. Not only has she mirrored back to me the things that prevent me from being successful, which at times I would throw fits and I'd want to run away, and it was really uncomfortable. Shadow work can be uncomfortable, and it's hard to face ourselves. But if you can gracefully do that and own your stuff, you'll just fly. You'll fly through it. But anyway, she also mirrored back to me my own light. And that was hard to own too. Because I saw in her a tremendous amount of grace, love, and light. And she has a tremendous amount of gifts. And the love pours through her, channels through her from her heart in such a way that I'd never experienced. And it pierced me to my core. But I realized, as I see that in her, I realized that that's also me. And that's also the people around me too. So as I got a clear understanding of who I am and who I was, I have a clear understanding of who everyone is and or what everyone's been through, and I can connect to them on that level, So, inspiration is follow your inner guidance. Follow your inner guidance and trust your intuition. Especially women have a strong intuition, and for so long I think that it's been suppressed or silenced because of our culture, our masculine culture. And you got to follow your guidance, your intuition. It won't lie to you. And I think a lot of people say follow your heart. I think honestly that intuition is located in the heart. It comes from the heart. Like I said, to me, the heart is the sacred seat of the soul. And if we listen, that voice of wisdom, it will present itself. And it will give you all that you need. So don't shut it out. Don't try to silence it. Your heart is your guiding light. And but the thing is, in our culture, it's our second chakra that seems to be the dominant guiding force, especially when it comes to relationships or romantic relationships. And we have to be conscious of that, I think. The heart has a knowledge all of its own. And the deeper you tap into that, the more you'll see true love shining back at you from those around you. But be mindful of the pull from down below, because that can lead you astray as well. Maybe that's a whole nother topic. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow or another day, talking about romantic relationships and balancing the second chakra and all that stuff. But anyway, I hope that this video has helped some of you out there and maybe given you a better understanding of who I am and what I'm up to. So, greetings and blessings from underneath the Bodhi tree here at my home, the Mosswood Cottage. You see, here's my tree. It's a beautiful day out here in Minnesota. It's been rainy, but luckily it's cleared. So, anyway, know that all you out there listening, I love you all from my heart. And hope to connect with you all in a profound way and maybe create some transformation on a soul level. So, namaste.